So I hear this episode features a bunch of rich old white men getting conned out of their money.
Nah, Batman stops it from happening.
So you're saying they still have all of their cash?
Yep.
Well, we can't have that. Where can I find these chaps? Welcome back to another episode of Batman the Animated Recap. Last time we covered Beware the Grey Ghost, featuring Adam West voicing the Grey Ghost himself. This time we're recapping a story that features a fortune teller with a criminal agenda. Season 1, Episode 19 of Batman the Animated Series, Prophecy of Doom. We open on a bomb going off on a cruise liner, causing it to sink like the Titanic, but without the sweet, sweet charms of Billy Zane.
Please, I'm all she has in the world.
We cut to Bruce having dinner with a wealthy banker named Ethan Clark and his daughter Lisa. Ethan is trying to sell Bruce on a psychic named Nostromos, who told him not to go on a gambling cruise, which conveniently just happens to be the cruise that sank. Predicting misfortune and then making it happen? Sweet scam.
I suppose so, but what sort of idiot actually believes in fortune tellers?
Has anyone seen today's horoscopes? I need to know if it's a good day to commit crimes.
It's never a good day to commit crime.
Drat.
Ethan invites Bruce to a dinner he's holding the next night in Nostromos' honor. Bruce agrees to go, but as he and Lisa are leaving, Bruce can sense that she doesn't believe in Nostromos' predictions, causing her to say,
"Sometimes I think his predictions come true because he makes them happen."
She also reveals to Bruce that her father won't do anything without Nostromos' blessing, and that he's even joined a secret brotherhood.
Oh, we should start a secret brotherhood. One just for villains.
And what would we call this organization?
Well, I'm feeling inspired by this episode, so how about the Legion of Doom?
That's a terrible name. It'll never catch on. We cut to the next night where we get introduced to Nostromos in grand fashion?
Just a rule of thumb, but if your all-powerful soothsayer is being introduced by a man in an ugly turtleneck with a handheld gong, you're being scammed.
During his presentation, Nostromos gives a prophecy of death to Bruce Wayne, resulting in... What is wrong with that man's eyes? Who does he think he is, Johnny Depp in a Pirates movie? I'm not sure that's makeup. I think that's supposed to be his eyes. In the next scene, Batman's back at the Batcave and he reveals that he got Nostromos' fingerprint. When he runs it through the Bat computer, he gets a mugshot for Carl Fowler.
I mean, the top makes sense. Some people just have crazy eyebrows, but why does it go under his eyes? Do his eyes just have hair circling each one? Do you know how unsettling that would be to look at?
I mean, I guess it would make him a good psychic.
And a better carny.
What?
You think a bearded lady sells tickets? Wait till you advertise bearded eyeballs here.
I don't run a carnival. In fact, I don't think anyone does anymore. Anyway, Carl is a professional actor who's been arrested previously for petty larceny, but has no other criminal record. His turtleneck-wearing manservant, though, has been arrested for fraud.
I'm telling you, never trust a man with a tiny gong.
Whoa, Crane! I don't think the size of his manhood should be relevant here.
What? No! I was talking about his literal gong.
Call it what you like, just do it in private.
Who's talking about privates?
Professor Pervert over here.
If you don't knock it off, I will gas everyone so hard their nightmares will have nightmares.
Okay, everyone get off gongs. That is not what I meant and you know it. Crane, help me out here.
Not on your life. I'm just glad the focus is off me.
Whatever. The next day, Bruce goes to his office, and he's about to get on his private elevator when the guard says,
"I hear your personal elevator's working great now. The repair guy was just out."
That didn't strike you as suspicious?
Look, I'm a very important man with a lot of employees. Maybe someone noticed a problem and called a repairman.
But it was your private elevator.
Hey, do I go to your office and tell you how to run things?
I don't have an office.
Exactly.
Once Bruce is inside the elevator, someone tampers with the motor and cables, causing the elevator to fall, resulting in... What the Come on! I thought your bathroom quick change and see no evil strained credibility, but this is ridiculous.
I already told you that Bruce Wayne's face is a mask, and the suit is a tearaway onesie, like male strippers wear. One tug and I'm ready for action.
I'll bet you are.
What is it with everyone today?
Batman makes it to the roof, getting the drop on the elevator saboteur. Until this happens.
Don't you tire of getting your ass kicked by untrained morons?
Never. I don't get my ass kicked. Can we move on to the part of the episode where I'm winning?
We're getting there. Back in Nostromo's place, we can see him without his wig as he chews out Turtleneck for not killing Bruce Wayne. Ethan calls Nostromos and tells him that Bruce has seen the light and wants to join the Brotherhood. We transition to later on at Ethan's house, where Bruce is putting on quite the performance.
It wasn't until that moment, when I came so close to death, that I realized you really did have a divine connection.
Hey, Bats! You're pretty good!
Thank you.
You could easily book a gig in any Lifetime original movie.
How dare you mock Lifetime movies? They're about love, damn it!
Bruce convinces Nostromos to let him into the Brotherhood. Unfortunately, his acting is so good that he also convinces Lisa that he's been hoodwinked.
Not Bruce!
Lisa, you...
You know what my inner voice tells me, Nostromos? You've ripped off your last victim.
Ballsy. I like her. I mean, if I were Nostromos, I'd have to kill her, but I appreciate her moxie.
I tried blinking to her that it was just a ruse, but apparently she doesn't know her Morse code.
On the way to the Brotherhood meeting, Ethan explains Nostromos' scheme to Bruce, though he doesn't realize it's a scheme that he's describing. Nostromos has had all the members put money into a super fund for something he calls the Great Fall, which is supposed to be a global economical collapse. Even though Ethan assures Bruce that Nostromos has no access to the money, Bruce is clearly suspicious.
Nostromos insisted everything be above board.
Of course.
I've never been one for these long cons. It's easy enough to get someone to sign their money over to you when you're choking them out.
At Nostromos' HQ, he dazzles members of the Brotherhood with his 8th grade space diorama while telling them that the Great Fall is at hand. Lisa is lurking around outside and breaks in to find some proof that Nostromos is a charlatan. She sees Turtleneck in a room working the special effects for Nostromos' Mind Freak special, but is caught before she can alert anyone.
See, this is why they should have killed her.
Is that your answer for everything? Just kill it?
Of course not. I often like to torture before killing.
Back at the Batcave, we learn that Bruce donated $10 million to the Brotherhood Fund to keep his cover, and Alfred is not happy about it.
And to think I was fretting over the electric bill.
You really gave that hack $10 million?
Relax. I charged it to my Bat credit card.
Never leave the cave without it.
Ethan gets called to Nostromos' place. When he arrives, he expresses concern that his daughter is missing, but Nostromos assures him that she's fine. He then tells Ethan that the Brotherhood's fund is in jeopardy and needs to be converted into gold bullion right away. When Ethan refuses to sign the paperwork without consulting the Brotherhood first, Nostromos reveals that he has his daughter held captive. Ethan signs the paperwork, but before Nostromos can get away, he has some technical difficulties.
It always astounds me, Bats, to see when you have a sense of humor.
If I didn't get the occasional laugh in at a criminal's expense, I'd turn into one of you crackpots.
Hey!
Jeez, you try to kill a guy a few dozen times and he treats you with nothing but disdain. Uncalled for.
Batman lures Nostromos and Turtleneck up to the rafters and gets the drop on them, but doesn't seem to capitalize on it.
Didn't you train with ninjas and stuff? How does this guy keep one-upping you?
The light was in my eyes, okay?
But you turned the light on. It seems that in this case, darkness would have been your ally.
Don't you think I know that? The plan was to blind him, then turn the lights off and attack. But I misread my notes. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Batman battles Turtleneck while Nostromos goes into the control room and sets the planetary display to dangerous levels before smashing the console.
Why would something like that even have a speed setting that high? And why does smashing the top of a console always cause an electrical overload in these kinds of shows? It's unrealistic.
Crane?
Yes, I realized how stupid it was as soon as I said it.
A lot of the planets appear to be hollow and crumble when they smash into each other. The rings of Saturn, however... Why would you ever build that like that? I know the guy's a criminal, but he's a white-collar criminal, conning money. He wouldn't have the forethought to install a guillotine-style ring on one of his planets just in case he ever needed to overload the system and have the planets crash into each other while he has a hostage tied to one of them.
Or would he?
Would he?
Wouldn't he?
Wouldn't he?
Well, you've convinced me. He would.
Of course he would. Wait. Did you just Looney Tunes me?
Yeah, ain't I a stinker?
Batman looks to have the upper hand on Turtleneck when this happens. Have you ever thought about ditching the cape?
Ditching the cape? You don't get to talk to me anymore.
Look, I'm just saying it's a liability sometimes.
Did anyone else hear that? It sounded like someone who's dead to me.
Oh, come on. Anyway, Batman manages to drop a planet on Nostromos before he can get away and saves Lisa from being cut in half by the rings of Saturn. After Nostromos is in jail, the headline in the paper reads, DA predicts life term in psychic case.
Ha! And they told me writing newspaper headlines wouldn't be fulfilling work. I showed them, whoever they are.
The episode ends with Ethan lamenting how gullible he was. Lisa says that he wasn't the only one, leading Bruce to say,
As the bard once said, the fault lies not in the stars, but in ourselves.
Trying to appear deep to impress the lady, eh? What? No. I was just being pithy.
Who are you being pissy with?
No, he was being... Oh, never mind. It would take too long to explain.
I can't say that this was my favorite episode, but it was something different. It's not often that you get to see Batman take on a con artist while going undercover as Bruce Wayne. I wish that Nostromos would have had a few more tricks up his sleeve to be an actual challenge for Batman in the end, but otherwise it was a decent enough story. What did you think, Scarecrow?
I've never hidden my contempt for criminals I consider to be beneath us in the upper echelon, and Nostromos is definitely near the bottom. He could have run that con anywhere in the world and succeeded, but he chose Batman's turf like a fool. Come to think of it, that sort of applies to all of us. Forget I said anything. 3 out of 5 Nostromos hairpieces.
Join us next time when we'll be covering Feet of Clay, Part 1. Feet of clay? Which writer had a clay foot fetish? Ah well, till next time, boys and girls!
Okay, so I get 2 friends to buy in, and then they each get 2 friends to buy in, and then those friends get friends to buy in.
Yes, you've got it, and everyone involved will be independently wealthy in no time. I promise.
Well, this is exciting!
He's conning you. Yes, what you just described is a pyramid scheme.
Shows what you know. A pyramid is 3-dimensional. What I described is a triangle.
Wow. Looks like you're gonna be rich.
I know! Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more Batman the Animated Recap episodes go up. Thanks, everyone.